I got a napkin. What's up, party people? How's everybody doing today? We're gonna give a little bit of opportunity for some people to come to the show. I'm trying to wipe this camera real quick. Hope everybody's having a beautiful day. Um, we got a couple of things to talk about. Just so we can be clear, no videos went out yesterday. We're gonna try to get some videos out today. Multiple videos. I got people that pay me. I got people that pay me for advertisement space and whatnot. So we're gonna make sure that we get multiple videos out today. Don't worry, we're gonna make your weekly quota by fall. All right. Usually I do more than the weekly quota anyway. So it is what it is. Shout out to Lil B from 1983. Everybody drop comments right now. I'm giving shout out as you drop comments right now. Shout out to Lil B 1983. Shout out to the Bay. Salute. He says top of the morning. What up, Jet Lee? Top of the morning. How's everything doing? He says great morning. I want to do a clarification for something that we spoke about yesterday regarding Diddy. That's the main reason why Diddy is the lead topic right now, because we want to discuss what's going on with Diddy. I think that there's a couple of things that we're not. I got all of my notes in front of me, so we're going to be able to discuss everything that's going on with Diddy that has been reported as of late. We're going to be able to discuss everything that's basically been reported. I want to be able to do that. But I want to make something clear. So yesterday, I wasn't sure which was the cases that Diddy was trying to say should be thrown out of court or he shouldn't be held accountable for those crimes. We're going to get to the bottom of that. It was not the situation regarding the young man's accusations that Diddy and some other dude drugged them and then took advantage of them. It was a different situation. And so I was talking to somebody yesterday, and they were, I guess they figured they had a pretty good argument on the situation. I don't agree with their argument. Various different reasons. Not that I don't think that they're a valued individual. I just don't agree with what they were saying. And so therefore they sent me some stuff to do some research on. I did some research, and I wasn't looking for flaws or problems in their particular argument, but we're going to discuss a little bit of the law. We're going to discuss a little bit of how the law works, just so we could be clear. And I want to say something real quick. So there are laws that are non-existent at times of you committing said crime. But I do also want y'all to understand that all of this is going out under the Adults Survivors Act. I'm going to say that again. All of this is going out under the Adult Survivors Act. So I'm not even convinced yet that even if it was not a crime then, that you still can't be prosecuted for it now. I'm going to say that again. All of these situations that's going on with Diddy basically is being filed under the Adult Survivors Act. So I'm not 100% sure. No, pardon me. We're going to find out pretty soon, obviously, when Diddy's lawyers have an opportunity to argue this in front of open court. But I'm not 100% sure, just so we can be clear, that because of the way that these complaints are being filed, and also just so we can be clear, these are not criminal complaints against him. These are civil matters. So to say that something isn't a crime, so therefore Diddy shouldn't be held accountable for in the civil court, doesn't actually make any sense. Give me one second. That's an argument that his lawyer would give, because that's his lawyer's job. But to say that because something isn't a crime, you can't be held accountable for it in civil court, that doesn't make sense. I just want to be clear on that. I'm not attacking anyone. I'm not trying to go crazy. I'm just trying to explain that that's not the way the law works, and that's not the way civil matters work. Civil court and criminal court are two different matters, as we all know. So if you try to take criminal court or a civil court, you try to take criminal court arguments into a civil court, they're not going to always win, and vice versa. So we want to discuss that. Also today, I want to talk about LeBron James. I know that there are a lot of people out there that love LeBron James, absolutely love LB23. That's how you want to call him, whatever the case is. But I have a great argument why LeBron James should have retired a couple of years ago. Why LeBron James staying in the NBA is just selfishness. I think LeBron James might be one of the most selfish athletes in the history of athletics, of professional athletics. And people are going to say, but he passes the ball, he does all of this, he does all of that. I think I need to understand what a ball dominant player is first. If you are an individual who has the basketball, the majority of the time, you should have a lot of assists. Just saying. This is just the way that the numbers work. And the other title I didn't put up there, but I don't know much on it. I'm going to do some research. We're going to try to drop a video on it today. Has to deal with the shootings that happened in Charlotte. For everybody that don't know, there has been some shootings in Charlotte. The fourth police officer has just passed away in regards to that particular situation. So it was 3 police officers that previously passed away. A fourth one has just recently passed away in regards to that situation. I don't have much on that, but if anybody has some details on that and y'all would like to discuss it, please bring it into the chat. It's just, if you could put me on the information, I'd be very, very happy. That might cut down on some of the research that I'm gonna have to do later. Shout out to Iris Tyndall. Tyndall? Did I say that right? I think I've been calling you Tinsdale this whole entire time. Shout out to Iris, all of the Irises. This is one Iris. I'm staying at DM. She just never responds back to me. And if I see her on the street, she generally walks in the other direction. So I'm not sure she's interested or not. And I'm not no stalker. So if you want me to actually put effort, you can't make me. I'm not gonna stalk nobody. So we're not doing that. Once you make me feel like I'm a stalker, I'm gonna talk to you less. We're not doing that. There's a basketball player that used to be in the NBA called Wayman Tinsdale. He had a handle on him. It was on a string. Was it Wayman Tinsdale? It was a Tinsdale. He had it on a string. And shout out to the New York Knicks. I don't have any New York Knicks blue, except for our. Shout out to the New York Knicks. Shout out to Cameron also, and the rest of Dipset. Shout out to freaking all of the Dipsets. The niggas signed the hat. I should have Cameron signed it at the same time. But the only reason why I didn't is because the only reason why I was down there because somebody in our community had wanted me to go down there. And they specifically wanted me to get Jim Jones to sign the hat specifically. So that's the only reason why I didn't have Cam sign the hat. And I think I rubbed Cam the wrong way. My apologies, Cam. Your signature is just as worthy as any other rappers in the game, not just a freaking Jim Jones. And shout out to Jules Santana. He was always my favorite rapper out of the group. Not for nothing. I always like Jules. So he was my favorite rapper out of the group. I didn't know when they started. Jules was like 15. I did not know that. Like I did not know that. He was like 15 when they actually started. You know, when emotion really hit. He was like 15. I did not know that. 15, 16, some shit like that. Shout out to the New York Knicks. This is my only New York blue, obviously. Knicks blue I got. It's a blue sweater, by the way. So let's get to it. So I just want to say a couple of things about the NBA, then I want to double back around to Diddy. Drop comments in here if you have anything that you want to refer to any of this stuff. And I'm going to I'm going to go back to Diddy, and we're going to talk about the clarification of some shit that we talked about yesterday. So I want to say this about this real quick. I believe the Knicks is a better team, and I'm sorry to say this, but I believe that they're a better team without Julius Randle. And the reason why I believe they're a better team without Julius Randle is the same reason why I think that LeBron should have been retired. For all of y'all people that keep saying LeBron shouldn't retire, look how healthy he is. What y'all fail to realize is just because he can run up and down the court, that doesn't mean that he could necessarily perform at his highest level. You understand what I'm saying? I think he's being selfish. I think LeBron should wrap it up. I think he should get up out of there, be happy with what he got. The problem is this for LeBron. He wants to pretend like he's better than Michael Jordan, but Michael Jordan did more in less time. I want to hear how LeBron's still playing 22 years in the league. Michael Jordan Michael Jordan has better freaking accolades, only playing 16 years. If you put LeBron James's points, assists, everything, and compare it his first 16 years in the league to Michael Jordan's 16 years in the league, I promise you, Michael Jordan surpasses him in almost every category, if not every category. If you take LeBron James' best 16 years in the league and you put him up against Michael Jordan's only 16 years in the league, Michael Jordan still surpasses him. So that part. Everybody forgets there used to be an argument when Michael Jordan was still in the league. Who was better, him or Kareem? Everybody forgets that. Some of us old heads, we remember that. There was an argument. And there were still people from Kareem's day that said it was Kareem. And you got to respect that. At least I did. But the argument was always Kareem scored more than Michael because Kareem played more years. That's the only reason. Why don't you put their season averages up against each other? I'm pretty sure there's going to be a whole difference of you're going to see the difference. Michael Jordan once averaged 42 points in a playoff season. In a playoffs, pardon me. In a playoffs, he averaged 42. That was his second playoffs, by the way, that he was able to get into. He averaged 42.6 points, something like that. So Michael Jordan, different level. LeBron James, stop trying to chase Mike. Also, stop crying all the time. This is why these kids out here at the park cry about getting fouled every 5 minutes once they start losing. I'm not talking about no kids in particular. I'm talking about all the kids. They cry. Once they think they're going to lose, they start crying foul on every damn play. Come on, man. We got to teach them better than that. If you're getting fouled, you're getting fouled. Get the call. But you can't complain about every little... The nigga gave freaking Jokic a chop in the neck last night and got upset that the damn ref scored. That was bananas. He was boxing Jokic out. He gave him a whole karate chop to the neck. The ref called it, and he threw a hissy fit. What in the hell, fam? Let's get to Diddy. Nobody here for that. So Diddy's team, just so we can be clear, believe that one of the charges that he's up against is a motion that he has up against, and they filed. So basically, now there's points in here that I do think the young lady is wrong. I'll discuss that in a minute. We're going to try to discuss it all together, obviously. Her name is Joy Dickerson Neal. She was a young lady who was a college student in Syracuse, and for whatever the reason is, I think she lived in, or she was from Chicago or something. She goes to Chicago. She's at a concert. She gets backstage. One of the people asks if she wants to meet Sean Combs. She talks to him on the phone. They convince her to get on a plane and come to New York. That's trafficking. They had sex with her. I want to explain this real quick for the people that don't understand how the law works. Young lady, she's a Syracuse student. I believe she lived in Chicago. She goes home to Chicago. She sees a concert in Chicago. At this concert, she goes backstage at some point. She meets executive of, or, you know, I don't know who the guy was. A&R. I forget his name. I don't have it right here in front of me. Hold on. Hold on. She goes backstage. She meets someone who calls Diddy on the phone. Diddy gets on the phone with her. Diddy convinces her to come to New York, whereas they then have sex with her. That is sex trafficking. You cannot argue that Diddy didn't have her brought to New York if she was not going to come to New York until she spoke with him on the phone. He does not need to be on the plane. He does not need to be dragging her into a car. He does not need to do any of those things. Also, sex trafficking is literally bringing any human being from one state to another with the explicit purpose of having sex with them. So I know you can sometimes you got to explain the law. I used to have a guy who used to be on this program with me. And he used to always try to convince me of things that he did not know anything about. So he always tried to get me to come up here and talk to y'all and say things that was just, you know, just get mad at me too. He had to go. I am not coming up here and telling y'all anything that I know to be wrong. We're not doing that. I can't currently. I gotta file these better. When I file these better, I'll be able to file these better. We'll be able to do better bodies. But I was looking for the dude's name. The guy flies her to New York. I believe they were saying she was underage at the time also. So flew her to New York where they drugged her, allegedly. Dickinson claims that Diddy spiked her drink when she left it unattended. Diddy also videotaped the assault and gave the videotape out to people in the music industry that harmed her reputation, her career prospects, and her emotional well-being. Shout out to Jamal Fareed. And her emotional well-being. Once again, this is a civil case. This is not currently a criminal case. There's different levels that you have to prove in a criminal case rather than a civil case. Now, as long as she came to New York and they engaged in sex, Diddy is guilty. Of the civil complaint. As long as she came to New York, just so we can be clear, and they had sex with her, anyone had sex with her, Diddy is on the hook. That is 100% sex trafficking. The only person that you're allowed to bring from one state to another and engage in sexual activity with is your spouse. That's the way the laws are set up. Now we're talking about criminality. That's the way the laws are set up. I'm going to say that again. Because I think people just talk sometimes. And I don't think anybody, I'm not saying anybody means harm. I'm not trying to say anybody means anything bad. But this is why I don't just go off of what people tell me. People who tell you something with all the best intentions in their heart, but they just won't know what the heck they're talking about in that moment. So now, a couple of places, one place in specific, particularly, where Diddy might be able to win, or he might be able to have removed, is she's also suing 3 entities other than Diddy. That's Bad Boy Records, that's Bad Boy Entertainment, and that's Combs Entertainment. Now, this situation happened in 1991. Combs Entertainment was founded in 2013. I'm almost 100% sure that that gets thrown out of court. I'm going to say this again. I am almost 100% sure that that gets thrown out of court. So basically, she filed in November. She says the attack happened in 1991. She filed in the Manhattan Supreme Court. She filed because of the Adult Survivors Act. And also, just so we could be clear, it's about revenge porn is also the basic crux of it. Now, revenge porn wasn't a crime in 1991. But any lawyer can argue that it also wasn't a problem in 1991, as prevalent as it is now. Also, just so we could be clear, if she wasn't able to consent to the video being taken, that's a crime at all times. In every era of videography. I can't think of any point. I know what couldn't get thrown out, Iris, just so we can be clear. What are you speaking about specifically so I can make sure I address the right thing? At no point ever that I know about that you are able to video record having sex with someone without their consent. If anybody knows of something different, please put it in the chat. I would like to know. I would like to have a further understanding. If anybody knows of anything different. If anybody knows about any time that we've been in existence where people are able to video record people having sex with other people without their consent. Okay. So Combs Entertainment was filed in 2013. They're one of the defendants in this case also. As Bad Boy Records, that was filed in 1993, and as Bad Boys Entertainment was filed in 1993. Now, I personally think they're going to be able to hold Bad Boys Records and Bad Boys Entertainment inside of the loop. And the reason being is that an argument could be made that it wasn't founded until 1993, but it was in its processing being built stages in 1991. That he was in the act of building it. An argument could also possibly be made that things that he did like this allow for the foundations for Bad Boy Entertainment and for Bad Boy Records to be made. Now, Combs Entertainment was so much further in the future that I don't think you're going to be able to have an argument that this particular act that he did against this woman benefited or hurt the creation of Combs Entertainment in any way. Remember, court is about how well you can propose an argument inside of the laws that currently exist. That's what court is about, for everybody that don't get it and don't know. Now, I'm just going to say something. This has nothing to do with Diddy. Just pay attention. There's this show called The Boys. Y'all know about that show, right? So in season 1 of The Boys, they had a scene where Homelander was on top of a building. He was relieving himself sexually. And he was screaming out, "Yeah, I can do whatever I want," or something along those lines. It was pulled from the movie. Now, if you go talk to the people who made the TV show, if you go talk to the people who made the TV show, what they're going to tell you is they never intended for that scene to make it into the show. They literally shot that scene and wrote that scene for the explicit purpose so that they knew there was going to be things that they were going to want to take out. So they made something or put something that was even worse than some of the other things so they can get other shit through. And that's what I think this is. I think they know that the courts isn't going to allow for everything that they're trying to do to go through. So they're just throwing something in there extra so the court can look fair. Does that help you with your question? Put it in the chat. I want to know if that helps you with your question, because I do not think that Combs Entertainment is going to be able to be held accountable. But Bad Boy Records and Bad Boys Entertainment, I think that they might be in trouble. I think that there's an argument there, whether the complainant can win the argument or not. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that there's an argument that could be made there, and it won't be so quickly kicked out of court. I'm not saying that they're on the hook. They say they do that every damn year too, by the way. The Boys, the TV show The Boys, they purposely write scenes and film scenes just so the networks could get rid of them scene, so they can make sure they get everything in that they want in, so they don't have a problem getting some of the other stuff in, because the networks feel like, hey, we did our jobs over here. Just so we can be clear for everybody that don't get it. So Diddy's lawyer, Jonathan D. Davis, argues that the Adult Survivors Act does not permit Dickinson Neal to revive claims under statutes that did not exist, including sex trafficking and revenge porn. But once again, even if it's not revenge porn, right? As far as I know, and I could be wrong about this, but as far as I know, you've always had to have both parties' consent to film pornography, to film a sex act. As far as I know, you've always had to have both parties' consent. This is not anything, is it new? And also remember, this isn't a criminal case at this point. This is a civil matter. In a criminal case, you have to prove shit beyond a reasonable doubt. In a criminal case, you have to prove shit without a reasonable doubt. In a civil case, all you have to do is prove that the harm was that the party was harmed. That's it. All you have to do is prove that the actions of one person caused harm to another person, and that harm is quantifiable as far as monies or whatever the case might be. That's all you have to prove. So in my opinion, and hell, I could be wrong, but in my opinion, even if they throw out the sex trafficking, which I don't think that they will, even if they throw out the revenge porn, which I don't think that they will, you still are not allowed to film yourself having intercourse with an individual without their consent. Also, I believe she was underage. I think she was 17 at the time. So maybe if they did this in California, it'd be different. But this happened in New York City. But also, just so we could be clear, the fact that they're admitting to the crimes, you do understand this, right? Diddy loses here no matter what. They're admitting to the crime. They're just saying that no law existed at that time. These are the same crimes that they accused of committing after statutes and laws have actually been made to protect people from these particular activities. He's admitting to it. Shout out to Hassan Shipman. Salute, my brother. Hope everything is going well with you and yours. Yo, Iris, Hassan, any of y'all are gonna rejoin the green team? We need as many people back to the green team as possible. Jack, Lil B, we need as many people back to the green team as possible. I know some of y'all got kicked by accident. I didn't kick you. YouTube did it. Salute, my brother. Hope everything is well with you and yours. Any questions on this? Any questions? I just want to make sure that we cover everything on this before I even think about moving on to a different topic. I just want to make sure that we cover everything on this. I don't want anybody to feel like, they haven't been heard. I don't want anybody to feel like they haven't been heard. But yeah, this is a loss for Diddy either which way it goes. Either which way it goes. Because these are some of the same crimes that he's being accused of by other people after these statutes and these laws have been made to protect people from this type of activity. He's basically saying, I did it, but there was no law. How do you think that's going to play when he has to go to criminal court? For the other individuals, or whenever they indict him, how do you think that's going to play? Just so we can be clear, he's admitting to doing it. His lawyer is admitting it. They're just saying there was no law that existed. It doesn't, just so we can be clear, let me propose this the appropriate way. The lawyer isn't saying my client did it. The lawyer is basically saying, look, we don't have an argument. I don't have an argument. I have no way to argue against what this person is accusing my client of doing. But no law existed. So even though I can't argue against these claims for whatever the reason is, like evidence, it doesn't matter because the law, it wasn't against the law back then. Somebody said we convinced everybody to not donate. Anybody want to donate just to prove them wrong? I'm just curious. This would be a perfect time for somebody to just donate to prove them wrong. In any regard. In any regard. So I want to be clear about something. I don't want there to be no misunderstanding. And shout out to the people that donate when we're not on live. I definitely appreciate you guys. I definitely appreciate you guys. And I understand why you rather donate when we're not on live, because don't nobody care for these people that much. So I want to be clear about something. I don't want there to be no misunderstanding. The argument that these guys are making is that the law didn't exist. The argument is not that Diddy didn't do it. I don't even think... Let me see if the person left a comment saying don't tell nobody first. I can't see the whole... Shout out to... I'm gonna give you a thanks. Shout out to Iris Tyndale with drop. Definitely appreciate you. Not gonna call you. Shoot, I think 2 came through. I just no. Shout out to Hassan Shipman with the drop. I'm not gonna call the amounts. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you. Anybody else want to pull up? Anybody else want to pull up? If y'all want me to call the amounts, put it in the chat and we'll start doing saloon. If y'all want me to call the amounts, put it in the chat. We'll start doing the saloon. Other than that, I'm just going to try to keep it flowing if y'all don't mind. Anybody else want to pull up? Because these guys got big mouths, man. All right, so I want to be clear about a couple of things. And we're going to move on. Anything else y'all want to discuss, by the way? Anything else y'all want to discuss? Anything else y'all want to discuss? Anything else y'all want to discuss? Put it in the chat. So I want to be clear about something. And then I'm going to move on from this. We're going to talk about something else for a little while. Diddy's own lawyer is not saying that he's innocent. Diddy's own lawyer is not saying that he's innocent. Diddy's own lawyer is not saying that he's innocent. Diddy's own lawyer is not saying he's innocent. Just want to be clear on this. He's just saying that the crimes that he's being accused of, or the actions that he's being accused of, there were no statutes against them at the time that he committed them. Drop some for us in the chat if you think Diddy's cooked. Shout out to Hassan Shipman with the $30 drop. He said, call it so the Hades know it's dropped from the community. Shout out to Hassan Shipman with the $30 drop. Salute, my brother. I definitely appreciate you. You already know what it is. So, in my opinion, and once again, I don't know if Diddy is guilty of any of these crimes or if he's guilty of any of these lawsuits that's been made against him. I wasn't there. What I am saying is that his own lawyer does not have an argument for his behavior. All the lawyer can say is it wasn't a crime at the time that he's accused of doing it. Hassan, if people start following behind you right now, motherfuckers gonna have an aneurysm. Part of my language. They gonna have an aneurysm. So I'm just gonna say that. They gonna have an aneurysm if people start following. I'm looking for the information just to see if I can find the other jump off so I can have more information on the situation that happened that we're talking about right now. So I'm going to be talking. But we need to, I want to be able to tell you the names of the parties that was involved. I got to finish getting my paperwork and everything together a little bit better so I could just jump to everything that we need when we need it. We working. We working. And everybody has a voice. But you're not going to tell me what I can and can't talk about. You're not going to tell me what I can and can't say. If you want to say it with your own voice, fine. But you're not going to tell me what I can and can't talk about. But if you want to use your own voice, please be welcome. But you're not going to tell me what I can and can't say. That don't make sense. Look how they all bailed out of the room. Mad people bailed straight out of the room. You donated some money. That's all shit been donated some money. Mad niggas left out of the room. They pissed. And who's next? I think I got it mixed in with records, some of my other notes from somebody else's case. That's what I think happened. So. Or it might be in my other book. I got a third book. Hold on, it's over there. Give me, because I wanna make sure. I want to make sure we cover this completely. One second. I want to make sure we cover this completely. I can't find it at the moment. When I do find it, I'm going to drop a video. I'm already going to drop a video on it. So when I do find it, I'm going to drop a video on it. But currently, these are the 3 books that I'm working with. Everything is going to end up in this binder. At some point, I need to go buy some sections and things like that in order for me to be able to keep everything in order. Let me see if I put it in the beginning of this one. Hold on. At some point, I'm going to do something that I should have did with my Takashi notes. And at some point, I am going to be releasing documentary style content based on our notes over here. At some point, I should have did that with the Takashi stuff. I want to apologize for that. I don't know if any new Fanny Willis, anything has been dropped, but I'm going to try to put out some Fanny Willis stuff. I know y'all love that. I'm going to try to put out some Fanny Willis stuff, and I'm going to try to put out some something for Trump today also. So I can't find the other thing right now. Is there any questions that y'all have regarding this? Anything at all? Any questions? Anything at all? Any questions? Anything at all? And then we're going to move on, and I want to discuss anything else we got in the media that y'all guys want to talk about right now. We're 46 minutes into the show. Generally, when we're outside, we're just a lot more energetic. Shout out to the community. Shout out to everybody that when they see me, they're like, yo, Fro, like they don't be calling me Froze, but they be like, yo, where you at? You're not outside today? And I'm just like, we all gonna start being out here a little bit closer to where I live. As great of a reception as I get over there, don't get it confused. There are a lot of good people over there. There's just also just an element over there that just don't make no sense. You understand what I'm saying? I don't really feel like being around it. So we all, when we get back outside, we need to buy some cases and stuff like that for our phone to make sure everything is protected. When we do get back outside, we will probably be up here a little bit closer to where I live at. When I get some of that equipment, because we got to get a case for the phone and things and such. And we have mics and everything else. So just so we can be clear, I'm using my phone, so therefore my mic is not attached to my phone. But we have mics and everything else. All right, so that's not something that is a need. We have mics and everything else. That's not a thing that is of a need. Just, we don't have that hooked into our phone. Is there a way for me to hook that into the phone? Like, is there a way for me to plug the freaking microphone into the damn phone? I'm curious about that. Like, is there something I could buy? It should be, right? It should be. Shout out to Sims Entertainment inviting us out to the bar, to the club tonight to watch the Knicks quite possibly close out the 76ers. I don't know if I'm going to go. I doubt I'm going to go. But shout out to Sims Entertainment. Shout out to the home. They invite us out every week to about 3 different shows. I got to get ready I got to start getting out there and, working with our brothers. We got a lot of brothers out there that's like, yo, Froze, where you at? And shit. I wasn't in a good mental space to be able to want to do that type of stuff. I'm in a much better space right now. So we might start making moves to do those things. With that being said, I'm assuming that we're done with this topic. I'm assuming that we're done on this topic. Is there anybody that has any questions on this Joy Dickerson Neal situation? Anybody got any questions? I'm assuming we're done on this topic. We got 33 people in here with 21 likes. Salute to everybody that hit that like button. I'm assuming we're done with this topic. I'm assuming I adequately proposed all the information that I have to allow you to come to, pardon me, your own conclusions. I'm assuming here is a video that I did not do for y'all yet. It's on Fanny Willis and Trump. I don't think I did that video yet. I have videos, I have content, I have information that I've taken down that's for the grander scheme of things. I have information that I've taken down that's for the grander scheme of things. It's not for individual videos. It's for when we make our bigger content that's going to wrap everything in together. So I got a vision. You know what I'm saying? We working. Let's talk a little bit of Fanny Willis, if y'all don't mind, for a second. I want to say something. And this isn't just about Fanny Willis, but it's about the Democratic Party. Do y'all see what's happening? Oh, I want to talk about the college thing, but hold on. I'll stay on the Fanny Willis thing real quick. So do y'all understand what Fanny Willis just did? Okay, so one of the things she's being accused of, I don't think I made this video yet. One of the things, but I took down the information months ago, like about a month ago, some shit. One of the things that's, well, 2-3 weeks ago. So one of the things that Fanny Willis is being accused of is she allegedly met with the White House, which is not legal. She's not allowed to meet with the White House and then the White House tell her to go after Trump and then she goes after Trump. She's not allowed to do that. So allegedly, she met with the White House. There is a newspaper that wants the minutes because whenever they go meet with anyone about a thing, Fanny Willis and her office has to take down the minutes and the reason in which why they went and had a meeting. There is a newspaper called Just the News that has been trying to get basically the minutes or at least an understanding of why she had went to go meet with the White House. Fanny Willis has not given them the information that they asked for, which is supposed to be public record. Do y'all know a couple of months, like about a month ago, and I was busy telling y'all Fanny Willis basically considers herself to be above the law? Do you know that she literally said that her office isn't held to the policy that every other place is, that they has to have their records public? So Fanny Willis said in court papers that it is an entity, her office is an entity that is not capable of being sued. What did I tell y'all? You go look this up. Anybody, because you know there's people that's going to constantly be like, I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm lying or whatever. Go look this up. Fanny Willis, this is a quote. They said in court papers that they are an entity that is not capable of being sued. Now, why are they being sued? So, Just the News asked them for some open records that are supposed to be open, that they're just supposed to give to the news or whoever that comes looking for them. They said that they're not giving it to them. They challenged giving out this information. So Just the News asked the Georgia Attorney General, Christopher M. Carr, to open an investigation into the apparent violations of state law and order by Fanny Willis's office to produce any records that exist. Who told y'all? I told y'all they think they're above the law. Didn't I tell y'all that? I'm pretty sure that when I told you that, people was laughing at me, talking about I don't know what I'm talking about. I told you that. Shout out to hold on. Okay, so is today the 29th? What's today's date? I want to make sure I call everything appropriately. What's today's date? No, that was yesterday. All right, so hold on. Do y'all remember that I told y'all that? I told y'all. Fanny Willis considers herself to be above the law. So I'm going to repeat this one more time. Just the news. They obviously got some kind of inside information. They go to Fanny Willis's office. They say that we know that you had a meeting with whoever the hell. They said that we want the records of that meeting. And they're supposed to then get the records of that meeting. Fanny Willis's office decided that they were going to challenge them opening up the records for that meeting. At that point, just so we could, it was a failed. They have 3 days to meet a deadline. So basically, you go to Fanny Willis's office or any of these guys' office, and you say, we want these records. They got 3 days. After 3 days, then you can make a complaint, basically. So after 3 days, they did not meet the deadline, and Georgia law says that the entity that receives the request has to produce it basically on time. It is required to provide a description and timeline for the production of the documents. So not only do they have to release the documents to them, but they also, in addition to releasing the documents, that's to be a description and a damn timeline. Just so you know, this is real talk. I'm just, I don't know no better way to say this, explain this. So after 3 days, Fanny Willis and them was basically like, we're not giving you nothing. Just the News, which is a news agency, obviously, then asked the Georgia Attorney General, Christopher M. Carr, to open an investigation into the apparent violations of state law and order by Fanny Willis's office. By Fanny Willis's office to produce any records that exist. Fanny Willis's office then says that they can't be sued, that they are an entity that can't be sued and has immunity under Georgia law that makes them exempt from disclosure under the Open Records Act. They said this in an April filing. This is not this April, last April, right? Yeah, because I believe all this happened before this April. Anyway, Harrison Floyd tweeted out on Twitter, formerly Twitter, the social media formerly known as Twitter. He tweets out on X, or X'd out, I don't know how you're supposed to call it nowadays, that why are you challenging an open records request triggering a lawsuit? Because that's basically what it does. If you try to go get open records and they don't give you the open records, that triggers a lawsuit. So why are you challenging an open records request that's going to trigger a lawsuit when it was seeking White House communications if you did nothing wrong? You have a lot to hide for an innocent person. This isn't somebody asking Fanny Willis about her personal information right now. They're literally asking Fanny. She's working for the government. When people work for the government, they have things that they have to disclose. They're not allowed to keep things to themselves. They're not allowed to have that's personal business. Hell, nigga, you work for the government. American First Legal, AFL, representing Just the News. So just so we can be clear, Just the News has contacted Georgia Attorney General Christopher M. Carr into investigating them. And in addition to that, they got their own legal representation, American First AFL, and they're representing Just the News, and they filed an amicus brief arguing that the Georgia Open Records Act applies to the DA's office. So if she has nothing to hide, why would she do a thing that's only going to create a lawsuit against her office? That's the argument that Harrison Floyd is trying to make. Now, in addition to that, just more clarification, pardon me. Georgia open records law is clear. And this is a quote. This is a quote from John Solomon, the CEO and editor-in-chief of Just the News. This is a quote. He says, Georgia open records law is clear and has not been followed. The case of our request, publicly audible information currently suggests that Fanny Willis' team had contact with the Biden White House, something that would raise significant questions of public integrity. So they had a meeting with the White House and then decided to sue John, and then decided to bring a charge against Donald Trump. And just so we can be clear, former Trump staffer Michael Rubin, he's also Roman. He's also being sued. He's also in this case. He's the defendant, pardon me. Said Wade had 2 meetings with the White House employees in 2020. So I hear how y'all keep talking about how much y'all hate Donald Trump, but I need to understand how y'all can just be for all of these people, that obviously are breaking the law. Y'all think they just only breaking the law against Donald Trump? Y'all don't think they've been breaking the law against all of those black people that's been going in front of their court all of these years? Y'all don't think they've been breaking the law against all of these minorities, getting people locked up? Some of them probably are innocent. We're looking at what's going on in the YSL case. We're looking at it. We're seeing all the improprieties. We're seeing all of the mistakes. We're looking at it. I just want to add something real quick. Joe Biden in the White House also rejected to testify before lawmakers in the GOP in an impeachment inquiry. So our president won't disclose what they're doing. And the freaking Georgia DA's office in Fulton County won't disclose what they're doing. I need an explanation on why y'all keep voting these people in the office. I need an explanation on how these people are better than Trump, and I don't want to hear nothing about fucking racism. I'm old enough to remember, and I love our people enough to be honest. The Democrats didn't start calling this man a racist until he turned Republican. That's the part that people aren't paying attention to. Yes, the Central Park 5 happened, but Joe Biden created the crime bill. That's way worse than anything that happened. That's way worse than the Central Park 5 situation. That's not even close. Central Park 5 is terrible as it was. That was a drop in the bucket. More black people died under Obama's administration by police officers than died under Trump's administration by police officers. And in addition to that, one of the main places that started all of this youth killing youth and turned it so popular was Chicago. Who was the senator of Chicago when all of this drill shit started jumping off? See, that's the problem I have with a lot of our black people. Y'all will just be okay with black people hurting black people, but you let a white person even look like he's not all the way on our side and throwing himself under the bus to save us, and you're going to call him racist. But y'all ignore how black people hate other black people. I need an explanation. You just ignore it. When was the last time a white person came to the hood and killed the nigga? Not talking about police officers. Just talking about just a regular old white dude came to the hood and killed the nigga. When was the last time? So explain to me why so many niggas getting killed in the hood. I'm here, I'm listening. Y'all rather, not y'all guys specifically, but so many black people would rather listen to a black person talk bad about another black person than listen to a black person try to get black people to stop talking bad about one another. Y'all literally have chat rooms that completely designed to go into just to talk shit about other black people. And then y'all complain about racism. No other race takes us seriously. How could they take us seriously? They riding and dying for each other. We riding and dying each other. How could they take us seriously? Imagine worshiping a white man that spends his day, all day, every day, trying to tear down a black man, and you black. I'm going to say that again for those that don't get it. Imagine worshiping a white man that spends all of his time tearing down a black man, and you black. You don't think that white man, when he's not around those black people, ain't laughing at the black people that's worshiping him more than he's laughing at the black person that he's tearing down? So I don't want to hear about Donald Trumps of the world. Shout out to Nick Slick. So I don't want to hear about a lot of the shit that people talk. What time we got? I'm just saying what it is, fam. No other race in society does that. Only Black Americans. No other race in society. When I go outside, and I'm just being honest with you, I get support from Black people. Don't get this confused. But the only people that try to tear me down are also Black people. I don't have no white people in my life trying to tear me down. I don't have no Spanish people in my life trying to tear me down. I don't have no Dominicans, Puerto Ricans. I don't have no Eastern Europeans. I don't have no nothing. The only people in my life trying to tear me down are Black people. That's it. So how should my perspective of Black people be? Niggas be calling other people to plant. Nigga, you the plant. People be calling other people snitches. Nigga, you the snitch. You the plant. They convince you to hate your own people. And they convince you to hate the main people they convince you to hate is the people that want to uplift our people. Those are the main people, most of you Black people that hate other Blacks attack. I just want to say something real quick. Let's talk about Joe Biden for a second. I don't have no actual notes on this. I got to get notes on this today so I can have numbers for y'all. But listen to this. So Joe Biden wants to raise one of the taxes 44%, said it's only going to be for rich people. How? Do y'all understand trickle-down effect? Do y'all understand that it's only going to be for people that make $1 million the first year, and after that, it's going to trickle down to everybody else? Do you understand that if they pass this, how much harder it's going to be for you to make $1 million? You didn't think about that part, did you? Yeah, we want to screw all of those guys that's rich. You know how much harder it's going to be for you to get rich now? You're actually putting the bars up in front of you to keep yourself in a cage. They can't do that without self-loathing. You have to be self-loathing. The Democrats can't stay in the power unless you're self-loathing. Basically hating your own people. Democrats can't stay in power. Why do you think the Democrats are always trying to create a situation where people are going opposing each other? They have to keep each other arguing. We're going to talk about these college campuses in a second. All of our truck drivers out there, be careful. Y'all heard about all of these. I think they had like, how many tornadoes happened just the other day? I think they said like 25 tornadoes in one day. How, fam? Do y'all remember a couple of years ago I told y'all when the war actually starts and people was like, well, how are they going to attack America? My mom kept saying HARP exists. Anybody remember when we was having these conversations? We was having these conversations between 2019, November, December. Could have been also in October, but November, December, 2019, 2020, January, February, March, April. We was having these conversations. More people kept saying they're not going to be able to bring their troops over here. And I was like, they don't have to. HARP exists. Every country basically has an HARP. All of the superpowers. Do you know what HARP is? Do anybody remember G.I. Joe? Who remembers G.I. Joe? And G.I. Joe, you remember what the ultimate weapon was in G.I. Joe? Anybody remembers what the ultimate weapon in G.I. Joe was? Anybody? The Weather Dominator. Now go look up HARP. HAARP. You out here hating your brother. They dropping 25 tornadoes in the middle of America. Shout out to Tada. I'm not laughing at this. This is all of the, I can't believe it. You out here trying to destroy your brother, destroy your sister, do everything you can to make sure that your community don't get any better, that your community stay down. You're doing everything that you can. These niggas is dropping tornadoes in the middle of America. "25 tornadoes in one fucking day in an isolated area." You just think that was coincidence. Even though it's never happened before, not in recorded history. You just think it's a coincidence. I never expect to have a ton of friends because our people are so envious. More often than not, people are going to hear the things that I say instead of accept it and try to research it so they could get more information on it. They're going to get the information and then they're only going to try to get research in order for them to try to prove me wrong. They're not even going to try to get the information so they can get more intelligent on whatever the topic is. They're not going to get the information in order for them to be able to be more informed. They're going to try to get the information with the explicit purpose of trying to figure out how they can say that I'm wrong about something. They have no other purpose. Not everybody, but so many. People get mad because I don't want them to come in here and have bullshit conversations with me. They consider that me stopping their voice or preventing them from using their voice. So you think you trying to prevent me from using my voice is okay, or my own platform. But when you come in here and say something that is erroneous and is wrong and has no basis in reality, and I prove that, and when after I prove that, I don't want to talk to you no more because you're just going to keep repeating the same thing, so I kick you. You think that's me preventing you from having a voice. For everybody that doesn't think that makes any sense, it doesn't. That's how Satan works. So I was listening to I saw a clip on Instagram, just so we could be clear. I didn't actually go looking for anything. So I saw a clip on Instagram, just so we could be clear. And they asked like a former, I think it was CIA or FBI or something. So they asked them if another country was going to attack America, like where would their first attack be? He named somewhere like Montana or something, like in the middle of like, where nothing is at. So I was busy thinking to myself, like, is that nigga crazy? They're going to attack New York City. Then I thought about that. You know what? That's propaganda. They're gonna attack our naval bases. We don't have any. We don't have any freaking, not just our naval bases, but our bases. We don't have any bases like that in New York City. They're gonna attack places where we have nuclear arms. We're not shooting nuclear arms out of New York City. So they're most likely all gonna attack Middle America before, you know, they'll do attacks in New York City, in the LAs, in the Houstons of the world, the Chicagos of the world. Probably not Chicago, but in a lot of these places, they're gonna do attacks. Don't get it confused. But their main attacks are gonna be where we store our weapons. Their main attack is gonna be where our military is. So keep that in mind. New York would definitely get hit early because this is one of our biggest ports. Everybody that don't know, one of our biggest ports, if not our biggest ports on the East Coast, is in the Bronx. Hunts Point Market. I think that's like the biggest port in the East Coast. I think the second biggest is like in Baltimore or some shit. One of them is the biggest. The other one is the second biggest. I can't. When I acquired this information, it was like 15 years ago, so it could have changed by now. So it could have changed by now. And I acquired this information, just so we can be clear. Give me 1 second. Can we talk about these situations that's going on the college campuses? So, a couple of things I want to say real quick. The first thing is this. I remember growing up and hearing about the Vietnam War and hearing about how all of these college campuses during that time were campaigning against the Vietnam War, saying, pull out of Vietnam, pull out of Vietnam. Vietnam War is definitely a war, and the Korean War, I believe, also. Shout out to Tyson Garcia, salute. And the Korean War also, I believe. So they was on these campuses saying, pull out of these wars. So currently we have a lot of college students that are on these campuses right now. Columbia University, we're going to talk about specifically. And they are campaigning against the situations that's happening over against the Palestinians. They're campaigning against what Israel is doing. I'm not here to campaign for or against any side. I'm here for the people who are, caught in the middle of this, the civilians, the citizens, whether you Palestinian, whether you Israeli, whether you Iranian. I'm here for the citizens. I'm not here for whatever the political ramifications, leanings that led to the event. I'm not here for that. I'm not getting involved in that. I care about people. Right? So my heart goes out to everybody who's Israeli, who's Jewish that lost anybody. My heart goes out to everybody who is Palestinian, Iranian, anybody that lost anyone in this conflict, American, anybody that lost anybody in this conflict. My heart goes out to y'all and to the individuals that was lost. I'm here for that. I'm not here for whatever the political leanings is that pushed whatever this is to be in whatever direction that this is in, just so we can be clear. So I'm not campaigning for one side or the other. I don't want anybody to think that at any time I'm like, go this side or go that side. I'm not. That's not my time. But there are a couple of things that I want to say. The first thing I want to say is this. College students are idiots. Not all college students, but a large percentage of college students are idiots. A lot of college students are people who they haven't found that thing in life yet. They're easily swayed. They're easily swayed. They're not thinking anything through. They're thinking with their heart. They're not thinking with their head. I can't say one way or the other that I think that anybody should stop or think that anybody should proceed. But what I will say is this. The university has a responsibility to the people who fund it. So when you go to this college and they have people who are helping to fund these colleges and you're condemning them, don't be surprised when a college responds to you in a way of protecting itself, which is protecting the people who fund the university. It upsets me that I keep seeing them interview these college kids and they don't even have a reason for being out there. They don't even know why they're out there. They're just out there because their friend is protesting. They're just out there because it's cool to protest. They're just out there because it's the fad. They're just out there because everybody else is doing it. That's upsetting. We have to remember a lot of these college kids ain't even 20. They're teenagers. They don't know what the hell they're doing. They're just doing. So every time I see these situations where they're out there and they're protesting, I'm like, even if I don't agree with you, when you get that mic in front of you, if you don't have a point, if you don't have something that you're explaining, if you don't have any information that you could give to the public to help the public, please stop protesting. If you're going to protest, at least have a position. I don't care if I disagree with your position, but at least know what you are protesting. We got to stop loving chaos. We have to stop being jealous, envious. Know why you're protesting. Even if I don't agree with you, I can respect that. Tyson Garcia says, innocent people dying on both sides, unfortunately. But in all, I'm more concerned about our people here in America. I wish folks had that same energy for for the American people. Yeah. People are protesting what's going on over there, but y'all still gonna go vote Democrat. I'm gonna say that again. People are protesting. These college students are protesting. Regular people are protesting what's going on right now over there involving this war, but you're gonna still go vote Democrat. If I remember correctly, Biden said, don't vote for Trump, vote for him, because if he gets reelected, there's going to be a war. But Trump didn't get reelected. Biden got reelected. There's a war. Explain it. Am I asking too much? I don't think I'm asking too much. Who thinks I'm asking too much? Who don't think I'm asking too much? Drop some comments for me. Am I asking too much? I want to know. So you don't want a war. But you're voting Democrat. I need an explanation. Because if I remember correctly, every time one of them freaking despots of another country poked their head up, your man Trump dropped a tweet and them niggas went back into hiding. Now, who told y'all that those tweets were a bad idea? Who told y'all Trump was creating a war? The Democrats. Trump was scaring the shit out of those other countries. Your man, Kim Jong-un, went into hiding for like 2 years. Tell me where the lies at. Kim Jong-un, that's how you say his name, right? Then he go into hiding for like 2 years. His freaking, everybody thought he was dead. His sister had to take over. Tell me where the lies at. Trump scared that nigga so bad, he started putting his fucking missiles so everybody could see how big his fucking missiles was. They was doing marches with his fucking missiles. So the whole world could see he got guns. Trump was scaring the shit out of these niggas. Now we got a dude as president who can't even read off the teleprompter. The nigga was reading and they put pause because he's supposed to pause and wait for the applause. And the nigga read applause. I'm part of me. The nigga read pause. What up, Leia? And Trump went to North Korea. I don't remember that part, but I believe it. So why in the hell are people voting Democrat? Somebody dropped a donation, but I think it was for, I can't read whatever they said currently. Unless I open the app. I'm not going to open the app. So I can't read what they said. So it is what it is. So I need an explanation. But they're going to say don't vote for Trump because he's a racist. But guess what? When Trump was in office, I don't remember any wars, not open wars. We got a new phone, y'all. I lost the phone the other day. We got the new phone. We got the Galaxy S24 now. If y'all are fucking with the new equipment, that's basically what this is, y'all can always go pull up to the Cash App, Super Chat, and or PayPal and show your support. Also, could we hit that like button, please? Let's try to get to 50 likes. Tyson Garcia says, Sky says, Jack, salute, brother, camera, extra sharp, appreciate you. Tyson Garcia says, Trump and Putin was actually being cool and no beef. China and Iran was silent during Trump. Now both countries mouthing off and moving reckless. Do y'all remember Trump was shooting at China every day, nigga? China. He was shooting at China every day. Them niggas was quiet. And tell me where I'm wrong. Tell me one thing I'm saying that's incorrect. Trump was shooting at China every damn day. Every time he did a speech, he'll roast China. Tell me where. New fucking Yorkers, fam. New Yorkers is different, fam. I'm not trying to laugh at this shit. But tell me where the lies at. Every time he did a speech, he would roast China. Tell me where the lies at. He would just take 5 minutes to the side of every speech where he would talk shit about China. Tell me where the lies at. Damn, I need a new charger. Tell me where the lies at. I'm listening. If I'm saying anything wrong, put it in the chat. If I'm saying anything wrong, put it in the chat. Nigga was sending out tweets at 2 o'clock in the morning. Y'all don't understand why he was sending out the tweets at 2 o'clock in the morning? Do you want me to explain to you why he was sending out the tweets at 2 o'clock in the morning? Before I even explain it, do anybody know why he was sending out the tweets 2 o'clock in the morning? Because once I fucking say it, people are going to say, oh, I was going to say the same thing. Tell me why he was sending out the tweets at 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to tell you why. I'm about to tell you why. Anybody know why? Before I sound smart? Because you're going to complain that I'm being smart. Right? So for all of the mofos that are going to complain that I'm being smart, I'm giving you an opportunity to meet me at the pass. PASS. Leah says, right now, Biden and the Democrats are selling out the country, stealing all of the money and selling us out to the WHO to take away all our rights. Yep. Now they have everyone distracted with all the BS. Facts. No, there's a specific reason. He was working, but there's a specific reason why those tweets was going out at 2 o'clock in the morning that the fucking Democrats was complaining about. I'm going to tell you in a second. I'm going to give y'all an opportunity. Leah's good bread, though. I'm going to give y'all an opportunity. I'm going to give the people who love us an opportunity, like Leah, and I'm going to give the people who hate us an opportunity to be able to stop me from being smart. Stop me from saying something intelligent. I'm going to give you an opportunity. All of the haters. Don't say you can't come in here and say it, because I'm telling you to say it. If you come in with an effed up name trying to disrespect me, I'm going to kick you and I'm not going to read it. Any disrespect is not tolerated, just so we can be clear. So come on, bring it. If you love us over here, like Leah, and you just got an opinion on it, bring it. Now, because he was working, absolutely, he was working. You're not incorrect. There's a specific reason. Come on, stop me from being intelligent. Because once I say the thing, that's going to make you more jealous, right? Leah says politics is your area. You good at it. Salute. Right? Come on, bring it. Once I say the thing, you're going to become more jealous, right? And you're going to be more angry at me, right? So I'm giving you the opportunity to beat me there. Put it in the chat. Nothing? When I say the thing, every single person is going to be like, oh, shit, that just makes sense. That was so common sense. Why didn't I think of that? But once I say it, I know they're going to pretend like that's something that they thought. So I'm going to give you another minute. Y'all love telling me I don't know what I'm doing, and y'all love trying to say, I would do it like this if I was Frost. I'll do it like that if I was Frost. So tell me what the fuck is the thing now? You can't, right? Because all you can do is sit around and be jealous of niggas and ridicule them, right? You can't even admit not knowing a thing, correct? Come on. I'll give y'all a couple of more seconds. When I say the thing, you're going to get it. You're going to understand. And you're going to really understand that these niggas over here, Trump was not playing with these fools. And all of the shit that the Democrats was telling y'all was manipulation. Time zones. When Trump tweets out at 2 o'clock in the morning Eastern Standard Time, what time do you think it's over there in Korea? Like the afternoon, maybe? When he tweets out at 2 o'clock in the morning over here, what time do you think it is over in parts of China? Probably like noon. So he's tweeting out at 2 o'clock in the morning over here, but he's tweeting out in the middle of the day to the motherfuckers when everybody's up. Do you understand how ridiculous that was for the Democrats to try to make it like he's tweeting out in the middle of the morning? No, he's not, nigga. He tweeting at them niggas. Them niggas is up. Get it? Time zones. Simple, ain't it? Wasn't that so simple? Just so simple. Was that not simple? That was just so simple, wasn't it? It makes so much sense. It makes so much sense, don't it? It just makes sense. Why in the fuck would he tweet to them in the middle of the day for us when they would be asleep? Explain that. Why would he tweet out to them 5 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern Standard Time when over there it's probably 2 o'clock in the morning? Them niggas sleep. Common sense. And the Democrats will still argue, well, he's a baby. He tweeting out at 2 o'clock in the morning. Nigga, that tweet wasn't for you. That tweet wasn't for Americans. That nigga's threatening a nigga on the other side of the world. He needs to send those threats out when them niggas is up and about, not when they laying in their fucking bed. Y'all still think he's an idiot? Y'all still think he's stupid? Y'all still think his administration didn't know what the fuck they was doing? Yeah, he had them dudes shook, fam. That's a fact. Dude did a whole parade with all of his missiles talking about how he got big weapons to shoot. Them shits couldn't reach here. Hey, Leah, did I give the haters an appropriate amount? Trump kept us safe. That's a fact. We didn't. Leah, did I give the haters an appropriate amount of time to be able to come in here and act like they knew that? I'm just curious. Leah's smart, by the way. She's smart, by the way. No, Trump and Biden are not friends behind the scenes. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Not them. Not those two. They're absolutely not friends behind the scenes. Absolutely not. They trying to put Trump in jail forever, fam. Do y'all understand what they doing to Trump right now? Do you really understand what they're doing to Trump right now? They're trying to kill Trump, fam, allegedly. They're trying to remove his Secret Service. Yeah, everybody forgets that Trump said that that somebody's already making attacks on his life. You do know that, right? Trump has already said they've been trying to make attacks on his life. And now they're trying to remove his Secret Service. What the? What up, Motivational Creation? Salute. Now they're trying to remove his Secret Service. Trump's already said, he's been saying this for the longest. And there's other people who have confirmed that there have been attacked, there have been attempts made on Trump's life. Leah says Trump went to United Nations going against the New World Order. He said America first. Look it up. Yeah, Trump is against. Also, Trump is against making. I'm blowing my nose real quick. Also, Trump is against making global money. He's against the whole global money thing. He wants America to have their own money. He doesn't want to do the thing that they're trying to do, where they're trying to make it all one world shit going on. Trump's against that. And I think that's what you're talking about at the United Nations speech. Am I correct, Leah? I think that's what you're talking about with that United Nations speech. Am I correct? We got 37 likes in here. Could we hit that like button? We could probably get up to 50 this morning. That'd be lit. Is that the speech you're talking about? Where he also talked about how he wanted to make the American dollar strong and he didn't want any kind of global fucking economic situation where everybody got the same damn money? Shah says Trump is more traditional. I feel traditional works best. All the extra ish gonna call. Yep, I'm conservative. I'm conservative over here. I'm conservative. I've been conservative my whole life. I've always been conservative. A lot of y'all always been conservative, especially black men, not knocking anybody else. But a lot of black men are actually conservative. We are conservative. He said every country should do what's best for them. How did I tell y'all to vote? Whenever we talking about voting, what do I say? You should vote for what's best for your household. Please, somebody tell me anything that I'm saying and or doing wrong over here. I'm listening. If you making shit up and pretending on shit, I'm just gonna kick you. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Tell me, explain to me. What am I saying that's wrong right now? I'm listening. This is biblical. That's a fact. God is working. That's a fact. That's a fact. What up, John B? Salute. Shah says, I don't feel Trump is racist. How they say, of course, he white, so he stands for his people first, as he should. But look at the bigger picture. I agree with that. Black people love. Shout out to John B. Said he received his notification. Hit that like button, fam. Everybody hit that like button. You'll probably get the 50 this morning. Look, everybody is getting exposed, fam. Everybody is getting exposed. Not that fake exposing people do when they nitpick and try to bring up shit that's not necessarily true. We talking about real exposure. Everybody is getting exposed right now, fam. Okay, so Oklahoma said they had more than 25 tornadoes. Shout out to B Thomas for sending that $1 drop. Appreciate you. I couldn't see your comments right now. I would have read the comment previously. I've been going back over here constantly trying to be able to read the comments. But they said they have more than 25 tornadoes. We spoke about that a little bit earlier in the show. What up, Julio Lopez? Fam, what's one of the main things you've always heard me say over here? I am not against whatever your race is. I think that you should be pro your race. So if you being pro your race, as long as you're not being anti my race, I respect that. Why can't you be pro for you? That don't make sense to me. That don't make sense to me how all white people are supposed to be pro-black while all black people could be like true white people. And they say that's the way it's supposed to. So that doesn't make sense to me. I'm fine with you being pro-white. As long as you're not stopping my ability to be pro-black. I'm fine with you being pro-Dominican, pro-Puerto Rican, pro whatever the hell you are. As long as you're not trying to step on my people. I'm fine with that. I think that that's healthy. I think that that's healthy. Shout out to everybody that showed up this morning. Shout out to everybody that's already did some drops into the donation cash. For anybody that wants to support the platform, you can always pull up to the Super Chat, PayPal, and or Cash App. You can always pull up to the Super Chat, PayPal, and or Cash App for everybody that is want to do any kind of support for us this morning. We definitely appreciate you. We appreciate everybody that's already pulled up also. Also, one of the best ways that you can support the channel is by joining the Green Team. We need more Green Team members. So one of the best ways you can support the platform is by joining the Green Team. Leah says Trump is not a racist. Trump says Trump is not as racist as Biden. Who's drinking the Kool-Aid? That's what they doing. They drinking the Kool-Aid. Trump is not a racist. Biden and the Democrats are the real racists, especially against God's people, Israel. The fact that they want to take away, the Democrats want to take away your ability to be able to parent your own children. I don't understand why that isn't the most concerning thing going on. I don't understand how you're more concerned about that. Pardon me, I don't understand how people are more concerned about Trump being racist than the government literally trying to take away your ability to parent your own children. I don't understand why that's so. I don't get that. You know what I'm saying? That sounds like manipulation to me. Shah says, especially he stands for America, period. I'm starting to see that. I remember they always demonize those who are truly good. Yeah, because remember, Satan has to repeat a lie over and over and over and over and over again because Satan is trying to convince everybody about a lie. So that's why I'm always mindful of whenever somebody keeps telling me about how somebody else is a bad person or somebody else is this or somebody else is that. You know, that just sounds like Satan is working. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why I'm always mindful. Just always mindful. These dudes is crazy, fam. Once again, every single thing they accused Trump of, or they said that Trump was gonna do, they have literally done it. Also, have y'all heard about the jabs? Anybody heard about the jabs? Give me 1 second. We're gonna talk about these jabs for a moment. Give me 1 second. Have y'all heard about the jabs, or am I about to put you on the game? That's the only question I have. If you heard about the jabs, I got to get a new charger. If you heard about, no, not even the new jabs, the jabs that's already been out there. If you heard about the jabs, put it in the chat. Give me 1 second. If you heard about the jabs, put it into the chat. I got something to say. If we had more frequent participation like this, I would be doing tonight shows. I just don't do tonight shows because it'd be the middle of the night and don't nobody be participating. No chats, nothing. And I'm like, no, don't nobody want the tonight show, so I don't bother, to be honest with you. But if we was having more participation like this, people coming in here, doing drops, people coming in here, commenting, having good information to add to what we're doing, I would do tonight shows. I just don't because I feel like I'm wasting everybody's time. So I'm going to put you onto the jabs. First, I'm going to reiterate something that I mentioned the other day. The mRNA jabs, basically, Japan says that's causing an outbreak of cancer over there. I'm not saying that it is. That's what Japan is saying. Well, I'll talk about the Hoku law too. I know about that. So Japan is saying that the mRNA vaccines, jabs that they had over there is causing an outbreak of cancer like they've never seen. So there's two things that I want to say that you have to be mindful of. Shout out to John B with the $10 drop. Salute, my brother. Appreciate you. So there's something I need for y'all to be mindful of. Only these European countries, specifically America, has these big outbreaks of cancer where cancer is some kind of super huge problem. A lot of these other countries don't have that issue because the thing that gives us cancer a lot of times is the food that we eat. And if you pay attention, there's a lot of countries that don't allow a lot of American foods to be sold in their countries for that explicit purpose. I'm going to say this again for those that don't get it. Cancer is a problem in America more than it's a problem in generally any other part of the world. One of the main reasons for this is the thing that's giving us cancer at such a high rate usually has to deal with our food. The food that we're consuming has fucking carcinogens in it that help create cancer in the body. Generally speaking, for people that want to have a better understanding of cancer and tumors and whatever the case is, it's basically when you have a cell that keeps replicating itself for whatever the reason is. I'm gonna read. I'm gonna go back to your other comment, Leah, but I'm gonna read this one right now. It says the food, water, air, and products they try to make us sick. So other countries don't have. Pay attention. I'm not trying to talk down on people. Y'all know that this is just the way that I talk. Pay attention, because I'm trying to step us to a place so you can understand what I'm saying, even if you disagree with it. So other countries outside of America might have cancer there, but they don't have it at the volume that we have here in the United States of America. So now Japan is saying that the mRNA jab caused the outbreak of cancers in their country like they have not ever seen before, basically. They're suing these niggas, I believe. You could go look it up on the internet for everybody, because you know there's going to be people that's going to go look it up on the internet. All right? All the haters, go look it up. And the people that aren't haters, I don't really care. Go look it up. So Japan is saying that there's an outbreak of cancer, but pay attention to what's really being said. In Japan, pay attention. If we had an outbreak of cancer for that same exact reason in America, we wouldn't even know. Because in America, cancer is prevalent. It's fucking everywhere. So that's one jab that another country is basically saying has caused a widespread of cancer in their country. Now, why is that a country that generally don't have these problems? Because of the food they eat, the water they consume, and their air quality. Shout out to Leah for leaving that comment. So now there's another vaccine. The one that starts with AZ or AT. Somebody get the name and put it in the chat for me. They selling fake food that gives us, yep, they selling fake food. A lot of the food that we eat is fake. That's a fact. And I eat ground beef, but I wouldn't be surprised if the ground beef we eat isn't even cow meat. I wouldn't even be surprised. I'm going to say it like that. You already know that a large percentage of the chicken that we eat is cloned. And you could clap it up for Obama because Obama changed the qualifications for how we categorize food. So that means that they don't have to sell us real food all the time and tell us that it's not. So shout out to Obama for that. Yes, even the fruits be fake. Shout out to Obama. Shout out to Obama. Don't know what to tell you. But they tell you to hate Trump, apparently. Leah said, I scrolled up to go find this. Look up the WHO Biden about to sign America over to the New World Order in order to enslave us. Look at the law Hochul just made in America. Shout out to the fruit. Salute. So Kathy Hochul made a law. They can just go to your house and say that you are a danger to the public and just put you basically in a concentration camp. Indefinitely. They never have to let you out. They could just hold you forever. They could literally just come to your house and take you. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can say. There's no law that you could go to. There's no court you could go to. There's nothing. They don't even really need a reason. The governor, yes. They don't need a reason. I can't check it right now. I'm going off of the information that I currently have. But if you want to put anything in the chat, like phrases or anything in the chat, you might be able to jog my memory and help me be able to, that's the best way to do it currently. I'm so sorry. I'm just working off of one phone right at the moment. Yeah, they can just go to your house. They don't need a reason. Like nothing needs to have happened. They can just go to your home, deem you a public fucking a danger to the public for whatever the reason might be. They don't even need a reason. They could just say, you know what, that guy's they could throw a dart at a board and just your name got hit. Then they could just take you to a place and that's it. So let's say you're a parent, a single parent, and you got 3 kids. They could take the parent out the house and leave the 3 kids, even though the 3 kids are 7, 8, and 9. So now they got your kids. Now they're gonna go get your kids some other parents, you know, that might just be LGBTQ. He was against the LGBTQ, so they're gonna just put you in jail indefinitely and then go send your kids to go live with some suitable parents who are probably gonna be LGBTQ. What you mean by female camp? Explain that. Nancy Hochul, Democrats. Y'all keep voting for them. I do know about Biden trying to sign something that's basically going to make it so that even if Trump wins, America has to give like a certain amount of $1 billion to Ukraine over the next 10 years, and there's going to be nothing anybody could do about it. That's crazy. How are these people not? I'm going to be mindful of what I said. I just have no idea how they want to take Trump and make Trump be in trouble for treason when it just looks like there's other people committing treasonous acts, and those other people are not Trump. Like, are we going to ever get explanations? Anybody's going to explain? Any explanations? Any explanations? I'm here. I'm listening. How do y'all vote? How do y'all keep voting Democrat? I don't understand. How many years have I been telling y'all we have to stop voting Democrat blindly? How many years have I been saying this? How many years? But it's God's will. Certain things are supposed to happen. So, you know, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But how many years have I been saying this shit? Leah, help me out. What you mean by a female camp? They sending men to female camps to turn men into women? I could believe that. I could believe that they just gonna send men to camps so they could try to turn all men into LGBTQ, all men gay. I could believe that. I could 100% believe that. I think they're more interested in men being gay than they are women being gay. 100% believe that. I think they want the little boys more than they want the little girls. 100% believe that. Y'all see them kids that run onto my page and yell about how they gay. Little kids. It's a sad world out here, fam. It's a sad world. Little kids. I be outside, little kids just run up on our page and talk about how they gay. Like that's not even something that they want to keep to themselves anymore. But if you're heterosexual, it's not nobody's business. But if you're gay, the whole world got to know. I need an explanation for this. Anybody got an explanation for me? I'm not shooting at gay people either. There's a lot of gay people that keep their business to themselves. But we're living in a world right now where kids, even little children, they're not just being convinced to be gay, but they're also being convinced to spread it out into the world. While if you're heterosexual, that's something to be ashamed of. I need somebody to go get those clips of them little kids doing that, because this is probably a topic we need to discuss. So if anybody could get those clips for me and send them clips for me, the timestamps, this is probably a topic we need to discuss. Why are our children not allowed to be heterosexual, but they are encouraged to be gay? I need to understand this. Anything else y'all want to talk about? I'll keep the live going as long as we got topics to discuss. If we run out of topics to discuss and we aren't talking about anything, I am going to end the live. Here we go. Boom. Y'all said a whole bunch of stuff and I couldn't see it. All right, boom. Let me comment. Leah says, and the Democrats is trafficking kids. Thousands of kids are missing right now. They're talking about it in Congress. Fam. They're convincing kids. If you seen with your own two eyes, and just so we can be clear, none of them kids was black kids. All of them kids was other race kids. But you see how these kids are just so eager to be gay. Like they're eager. FEMA camps. Oh, yes. Oh, you meant FEMA camps. Yep, they shipping niggas to FEMA camps. The FEMA camp is going to be just prisons. You are correct. Shout out to Leah. Shah says, you know what it is to the separation of blacks here and the ones that have foreign roots. They all want to vote them because they helped them get here. Well, we'll see. We'll see. You know, they, first of all, no migrants should be allowed to vote. That doesn't even make sense. So, yeah. This generation, yeah, please. Anybody that could get those clips for me when them little kids was doing whatever they... Because this is a conversation we need to have. Maybe somebody needs to alert these kids' parents of what they're doing. Who knows if this is something that their parents agree with? Maybe we're going to help allow for these parents to be able to have a conversation with these children. Like, we don't know. This is the last generation. Wicked as hell, fam. Leah says, they have men hating women and women hating men. It's all planned out. I agree with you. Leah says, in a couple of years, it won't be no opposite sex, only same sex. Yeah, that is, fam. You seen with your own two eyes. None of them kids was black kids, by the way. You know, and I'm not saying that they aren't black kids that are gay. But did you see how proud those kids are that they're gay? Like, they're proud of it. Like, this is a badge of honor. But you let a heterosexual child be happy about his heterosexuality, he's going to get ostracized. Tell me where the lie is at, fam. I be seeing them kids outside too. I just steer clear of them. These are not kids that I would ever allow any child of mine to play with. Ever. Ever. Any child that's under my charge. Ever. It's not because they gay either. It's not because they're gay. It's because of their willingness to try to push that on to other people. There's no telling what they're doing when they're alone. There's no telling. There's no telling what they're doing with other little kids when they could get other little kids to go walk off with them. There's no telling. Kids shouldn't even be thinking about sex. I'm a whole grown adult. I probably should think about sex more than I do. I don't really think about sex. I'm not saying I never do, but I don't really think about it. I be having other shit on my mind. Yeah, I just stay clear. Them kids, I stay clear of them. I stay clear of them. I would advise any parent to keep their kid away from that kid, even if your parent is gay. I mean, pardon me, even if your kid is, gay. I would still advise you that you keep your kid away from those kids. It's one thing for your little boy or little girl to being the opposite thing. It's another thing for your little boy or little girl thinking about having sex. Just so we can be clear. They shouldn't be thinking about that. Anything else y'all want to discuss? It's a good show this morning. Anything else y'all want to discuss? I'm just trying to pin. I don't know how to pin the damn thing. Oh, fuck it. I don't know how to pin it from here. Anything else y'all want to discuss this morning? If we still talking, I'm going to stay on here. If we not talking, and I'm going to let y'all go. And I don't want to talk about them, but just that's just something that we got to address. I am not for what these Democrats are pushing it into our community. I'm just not for it. I'm not perfect. I don't claim to be perfect. But that don't mean that I shouldn't try. We should all try to be the best version of ourselves that we can. Niggas ain't supposed to give up because you be like, I can't be perfect. You know what? I'm just going to do all of the things. That's not how we supposed to do this. Leah says, I will believe Trump will beat them. He will win order out of chaos. The higher ups who put Trump in, it seems like it's a test and he's passing it. Yeah. Might be. We can't do another 4 years of Biden in them. We literally can't. I promise you, there's going to be an outbreak of American against our military and against our police if this guy stays in office. But what I think is going to end up happening is, especially if Biden stays in office, what I think is going to end up happening is you're going to see our own military start going against the president. That's what I believe is going to start happening. You're going to have not obviously the entirety of the military, but you're going to see portions of our military going against the president. And they're going to consider Trump to be their president. They're not going to consider, because there's already, for everybody that don't know, go ask anybody that's in the military right now. These niggas is not voting for Biden. There's a very small percentage of people in the military that's going to vote for Biden. Very, very small. Very small percentage of the military is going to vote for Biden. Very, very small. What I expect to happen is, especially the military that isn't in America, I expect for their votes to somehow get lost. That's what I expect to happen. I expect for the military, especially the ones that are not currently in America, I expect their votes to somehow get lost. That's what I expect. Just so we can be clear. These guys are terrible. They're not good politicians. I'm just going to leave it at that. Not going to go too far into anything. They're not good politicians, period. Almost everything they do is only for select groups of people. That's why us as black people, we have to stop hating each other. We have to stop trying to destroy each other. Because we're the only group of people that don't have no one to turn to, not even our own. Well, it get thick for these Caucasian people, they're going to be able to turn to other Caucasian people. When it get thick for every single other race of people, they're going to be able to turn to their people, not us. We're going to be the only people that's not going to have nobody that we're not going to be able to turn to our own people. We're just not going to be able to. The people who you call our leaders generally, or the people who the world calls our leaders, are generally supporting the Democratic Party, and the Democratic Party doesn't do anything for black people. So explain that. I'm here. I'm listening. Explain that. Yeah, they know what they're doing. The fuses, gas prices are through the roof. That's the least of the things. You go buy milk and eggs, it's going to be $10. That's bananas. You go to the store right now and try to buy milk and eggs. Those are staple products of most people's houses. That's going to be about $10. Leah says, I've been following Trump since 2016. Everything the Democrats are doing, been playing. Biden told us about the immigration during the election. Yeah, they told you they was going to do all of this weirdo shit. They just made it sound like Trump was wrong for not wanting to do it, while Trump was saying, I'm not going to do that because these are going to be the ramifications. And the ramifications are here. All the reasons why Trump said that he was not going to do the things that the Democrats wanted him to do, that the Democrats are now doing, all of the things that Trump said was going to be the ramifications that was going to hurt us, is hurting us. Do you know how badly some of these people like Al Sharpton is going to go down in history? Do you know how badly some of these people like my son and Tamika Mallory is going to go down in history? Like, their names are going to be shit in history. They're going to be in history books. Shit. You know, Texas is building their own wall, or they built their own wall, but Texas is building their own wall. They said screw the federal government. They're going to build and protect their own wall. No, Democrats was never for us. Me and you've spoken about this on the page numerous times. Lee is one of the few people that whenever this topic comes up, she's been on the same side that you see her on today. Other people been flip-flopping, or I'm not sure, and I'm not mad at none of y'all, but like, I'm not sure or whatever, but Leah has been consistent. Mexico building a wall, what? To stop Americans? Or they building a wall on the other side of them? Mexico probably needs to build the wall more than Americans need to build the wall, because Mexicans, the crimes that are being committed against the Mexican people are possible because of the easy egress into Mexico from this side of the border also. To stop immigration flow coming through the country. Also, remember, do you know how many people are coming up missing in Mexico? Stuff to be mindful of, man. The stuff to be mindful of. Pay attention. What time we got? Yeah, they got a big situation with, but they've always had a problem with children and women coming up missing in Mexico. It's just they was blaming it on the people from Mexico. Imagine if a lot of these situations wasn't because of the people that lived in Mexico, but in actuality, it was, Americans. What up, young La? New York is but New York has always been pretty bad. The problem now is that we have these migrants, and they know that they can't be arrested. They know that they can't be arrested. So they're just doing any old thing because they know they can't be arrested. Like, Eric Adams just went on Drink Champs. I heard somebody saying he needs to be doing his job. Well, Eric Adams is busy going and doing all of these interviews to let you know that he can't currently do what's actually his job because of the Biden administration. But he can't just say that. He's just interviewing with the wrong people that don't want to ask the right questions. Just so we could be clear. They're trying to save his image, when I think that it should be done a different way. I could be wrong, just my opinion. But I think that there's questions that he should be asked, even if he isn't going to answer them. Because there's just information that we need to get out to the public in a way that it's going to be accepted, if that makes any sense, as being credible. Eric Adams is not the best. No, he's definitely done. Eric Adams is not the best mayor we've had. We're not going to pretend like that's a thing. But his situation is exponentially worse because he decided to make America a sanctuary city. So, because all sanctuary cities basically have a similar issue. He could have been a good mayor. He's done a lot of things that's actually pretty good. It's just that he can't do a lot of the shit that he wanted to do because he needed funding. He thought the funding was going to come from the federal government, but it didn't come from the federal government because they didn't give the monies that they were supposed to give to the sanctuary cities. So if he would have got the money that he was supposed to get from the government, the situation would be drastically different. But, you know, he's not a politician. That's the point people ain't missing. Pardon me. That's the point people ain't getting. He's not really a politician. No. So, yeah, that part. How y'all like the new camera? Well, it's the new phone. Shout out to the Galaxy S24. This is the camera that we're currently using. How do y'all like the camera? Is the camera crisp? Do y'all hear my voice well? How do y'all like the camera? Give me 1 second. We got 41 likes in here. Hit that like button. Let's send up some notifications. Well, let's just hit the like button. I don't know how much longer the show is going to actually be going on. Just make sure nobody sent anything and they dropped to me to have to call. Pardon me. Excuse me. So is there anything else y'all guys want to discuss? Or if not, I'm gonna let y'all go. What time is it? It's going on 11. I think this is a good time to end the show, right? Is there anything else you guys want to discuss? Shout out to John B. He said that's for a new phone charger. I think phone charger is more expensive than that, but we're gonna go see. I need a new block. That's what I need. So let me show y'all something. So it's up here, right? No, I'll put it over. Let me show you something real quick. So when you get the new phone, they give you the charger. They give you is like this right here, right? The charger they give you is like this right here, right? But I don't currently have the charger that uses 2C ports. The charger I have uses one of these. So I don't have one of those ports, USB port. I got 2C ports. So that's kind of what the issue is. I need a new block, like, you know, the so that's the issue. That's currently what the issue is. I got the wire, it came with the phone, but right, bastards. It is what it is. Shout out to our community. It always makes me, y'all making me feel so loved. Shout out to the community. I definitely appreciate y'all guys. God is good. Jesus is king. Y'all making me feel so loved. I'm very happy that the Most High have woke everybody up this morning. And I'm so happy that the Most High have brought some good people into the live this morning so we can have some good conversations about some good things. And I'm very happy that the Most High has allowed for all of the confusion to not be brought to our page today, so we can have conversations like adults instead of, you know, conversations in other ways. You know, I really prefer and I really love when we could talk about topics, situations, events. I really hate when our conversation dwindles down to talking about individuals and people. Um, just so we could be clear. And for anybody that's like, well, you talk about Diddy, well, we're talking about the situation revolving around Diddy. I'm not talking about Diddy to just talk about Diddy. I'm talking about Fanny Willis. I'm not talking about Fanny Willis to just talk about Fanny Willis. There's a situation revolving around her. We're discussing that. You talk about Trump. No, I'm discussing the situations and the circumstances revolving around Trump. So there's a difference between just talking about a nigga like, I don't like that guy, this and this and that, and talking about an event that's revolving around them, which, you know, affects lots of people other than just the person that we're discussing. That's a fact, Leah. The Few says we need a Tonight Show. I generally just haven't been wasting. I generally think that doing the Tonight Show doesn't benefit our community. I don't think our community actually be wanting a Tonight Show. I think, you know, other people might want a Tonight Show, but I don't be thinking our community really cares to have a Tonight Show. But if I do a Tonight Show, our community isn't going to show up. You understand what I'm saying? Like supporters don't show up. So, you know, I like going to bed peaceful. I like having peaceful rest. I like living a peaceful life. If I thought that our community would support a Tonight Show, I would 100% do a Tonight Show. I just don't think our community is going to support a Tonight Show. I don't think they're going to support it with comments. I don't think they're going to support it in any way. At least, you know, that's not what's been happening. So that's why there's been no Tonight Show. I hear you saying y'all do. I hear you saying it. But I've been here during the Tonight Shows where I'm just talking to myself. I don't have no people in the comment except for the people that hate me. That's the only people that's popping up in the comments. People that hate me. So I don't. It's not no benefit for me in any way at all. It's just hardship, you know. So that's why I haven't been doing the Tonight Show. That's why I'm not really thinking about it. I could be spending that time preparing for anything else. But if I thought people were going to support a Tonight Show, I'd do a Tonight Show. If I thought we was going to get support, if I thought we was going to get comments, if I thought we was going to get people showing up, being positive, if I thought any of those things, especially more than one of those things at the same time, then yeah, we'll do it tonight show. Why wouldn't I? In any regard, everybody, I want y'all to have a beautiful day. I want you to go, because I got to go get lunch. I'm hungry. Probably just gonna get something from in there. But everybody have a beautiful day. Go out there, do something worth doing. Stamp God's name on it. We need to figure out. Everybody getting kicked. I think everybody's getting kicked. Y'all are getting kicked. Could somebody drop a comment so I can make sure everybody's just not getting kicked? I think everybody's getting kicked right now. Am I like buffing or some shit? Shout out to Trojan. I guess everybody isn't getting kicked. So everybody just go have a blessed day. Go out there, do something worth doing in the world. Was I buffing? Was it like buffing? Like was there a thing going on? Because they just threw like 20 people out the room. That's what I'm asking. In any regard, everybody just go out there, do something worth doing in the world. Look, if we're not going to be positive, and if we aren't going to do good things in the world, then who is? We can't wait for other people to go do good. Like that's most people, they don't care. So we're not waiting for other people to go try to do anything positive. We're just not doing that. We're just gonna go do our best to do as much positivity out in the world as possible. You know, when we're allowed, when it allots for that. We're not stepping out of our way and doing anything that's gonna harm us or harm others or prevent us from being able to live a safe life. But whenever possible, try to impose God's will onto the universe. Let's try to make good things happen. Not just for ourselves, but for anybody that we could help make good things happen for. God is king. Right? Christ is king, right? God is good all day. Like, comment, subscribe. Join the notification bell. Hashtag Bronx Bonus. Let's get it. I love y'all. Take care of each other. Hug the kids for me. I haven't forgotten about you. That's all I got.